Right, hi all. Right, today I'm going to discuss about that model paper which was issued from the Ministry of Education, right, for this year to 2025, right, as the O-level model paper, right. Okay, but then I'm going to move to the page, actually paper 2, part A, right, paper 2, part A. I'm going to discuss the first 6 questions initially, then with the second recording I'll be explaining you about the paper 2, part B, right. Okay, then let's take the paper, right. I hope you'll have the tune with you and also have put that PDF also. In case A, it says 100,000 was deposited in a bank account, right? 100,000 is a deposit. Then if the 100,000 is deposit to that, we can find the total amount in the account straight away by adding the percentages. Look at this. Right, I'm going to write like this for that. Let's say the total percentage. I'm going to percentages x decrease for that. X percent, X percent, right? Then I'm just taking the value as X percent and we can multiply like this. 100,000 is the amount and we can multiply it by X percent. That is for the first year, right? For the first year. Actually, this is giving us the interest. But when I'm taking that X percent as actually 100 plus something, 100 plus that percentage, it is showing the cumulative percentage, right? Then for 2 years, I'm going to multiply again by 100%. Right? I just put that percentage as X. And the total amount in the account is 121,000 rupees. That's what the total amount in the account at the end of 2 years. Right? Well, this is how we are finding the total amount in the account straight away. Right? Without showing interest for the first year, interest for the second year, like that. Right? In this manner, it's very easy to simplify. 2 zeros cancelled. Another 2 zeros cancelled with that. Then 10 times x multiplied by x is x squared. No? Then 10 times x squared is there. Equals 121 and 3 zeros. We can divide both sides by 2. Then x squared equals 121 and 2 zeros. Got it, brother? So however, we had to find the square root of that. No? What is the square root of 121? How can you get that square root easily? This is what we can do, brother. You can see that there's 121 and 2 zeros. No? 2 zeros means it's like 100. 100 and actually 12,100 means 121 into 100. No? So how, if I want to find the square root of that, how can you find that? Square root of 121 is 11. Square root of 100 is 10. So that square root should be 110. Clear, brother? 110 is the percentage, but here we are getting the total percentage, 100 plus that extra percentage. Thereby, the percentage should be, or the interest rate should be 110 minus 100. So it should be just 10%, right? 10% is the interest rate for the first case, for the case A, right? Case A. Now let's have a look on the second one, case B. Right, where we can find the amount to be paid in installments, no? Balance to be paid. After making the down payment, you can find the balance to be paid. It is 100,000 minus 20,000. 80,000 is the amount to be paid for that in installments. And then we can calculate, it says a period of time for 2 years, no? We can find the installment, right? Installment without interest. You can find the installment, amount of an installment without interest. $80,000 should be divided by the number of installments. How it becomes 24? Because per year there are 12 months, right? 12 months means per year there are 12 installments. Then it's for 2 years, no? For 2 years period, there are 24 installments. If we divide them, what comes to them? It's not perfectly divisible, however. 8 times 3 for 24. 8 times 10,000 for 80,000. Then 10,000 divided by 3. If we divide them, this will be 3 times 3, 9. Again 3 times 3, 9. 3 times like this. This is the amount, no? That will be the amount, but it's not perfectly divisible, right? And then we are finding the second one, the third one. What should be the third one? we know the total amount, right? We know the total installment for that. So we can find the total payback amount or the total payable amount. How can you find the total payable amount? 3,750 to be paid per month. Then for how many months? Should be paid for 24 months. Should pay for 24 months, right? Then how can you multiply them with that? You could multiply it like this: 3,750 multiplied by 24. 4 times 0, 4 times 20, 4 times 7, 28 plus 2, 30. 4 times 3, 12 plus 3, 15. 2 times 0, 2 times 5, 10. 2 times 7, 14 plus 1, 15. 2 times 3, 6 plus 1, 7. Right. Should be 90,000, no? 90,000 rupees. Right? 90,000 rupees. That's the total payable amount. But can you see further? The balance to be paid is 80,000. But actual payback amount is 90,000. Then what is the extra amount paying? They are paying 10,000 extra, right? So that's what we call the total interest. Right? It's a total interest. Total interest is 90,000 minus 80,000. That amount is 10,000 rupees. Right? 10,000 is the total interest. Then how can, what else we have to do with it? In order to find the interest rate, what else to be found? We have to find number of month units. Number of month units. It is by multiplying number of installments by n plus 1, 24 plus 1, and divide by 2. It is 12, 2 times 1, 2 times 12 for 24. 12 times 25 will be 300. Right, 300 number of month units. And interest per month unit. Interest per month unit, we can find it like this. Total interest should be divided by 300. Then the answer should be rupees 33.332. Right? Interest per month unit is this much. Right? Then how can you find the percentage? Thereby we can find the percentage, you can calculate the percentage. Right? Interest percentage or interest rate. Interest rate is interest per month unit over installment, right? What's the installment? We know the installment is this much, right? Without interest. So 33.33 over 3,333.33 times 100%, because we have to convert the fraction into a percentage. And also these two amounts are given per month, right? Monthly amounts over there. But normally when you are finding the interest rate, we have to find the annual interest rate. Therefore, you have to multiply it by 12 again, because there are 12 months within a year. So we have converted that one into annual. Then by simplifying them, you can reach the final answer. How can we simplify them? 33.33 and 3,333.33 can be simplified. So how many times are there? How many times are there? We can divide. If we simplify them like this, 3,333.33 divided by 3,033.33. What is it? Can you see? Is there some relationship? No? What's it? Here there are 2 more 3's before the decimal point. Then what has happened? This can be obtained by doing what? When you are dividing it, we have to turn the shift in the decimal point 2 times to the right side. Then it will be 3,333 divided by 333,333, because we have the same set of numbers, because it doesn't matter the place of the decimal point. So what happens then? We can shift it like 33.33 multiplied by what becomes 3,333.33. We have multiplied by 100. No, we have multiplied by 100 for that. then you have to take like this, 1 times here and 100 times there. Then 100 to 100 also can be simplified, and thereby the first percentage should be 12%. Got it? Annual percentage for the case B is 12%, right? It's 12%. Right, for the first case A, the percentage is 10%. Case B, the percentage is for about 12%. Then we have to compare them and say which one has the highest interest rate. So, case B has the highest rate of interest. Case B has the highest rate of interest. Right? That's what you have to say, because 12% is greater than 10%. Let's take the second question. The second question, we have to build up the equation. They have given us the number of questions Amadi answered as X, and the number of questions Amadi answers correctly as Y. Right. Right? And now we have to build up the two equations. Right. As for the paragraph given, Amadi, who answered the question paper and scored 8 marks more than Samadhi. 8 marks more than Samadhi. How can you build up that one? How many marks does she obtain after writing answers for X number of questions correctly? Each question carries 2 marks, no? Right? There are 50 questions, 100 marks. 2 marks each. Then you can find it like this. Amadi received 8 more marks than Samadhi received. Then for the 2x is the number of marks she got, no? The score she got. Then she scored 2x, right? 2x marks. But it is 8 marks more than Samadhi got. Then this is how we can build up the equation, no? 8 more than the amount Samadhi got. Then you can take them to the left side as minus 2y equals c. Then can you see? We have the same coefficients here for the first 2 terms, and also all the 3 terms can be simplified, isn't it? We can divide them all by 2%. I'm going to divide the whole equation by 2. X minus y equals 4. That's what the first equation is. Then we could build up the second equation. Right, the second one, it says the number of questions Samadhi answered correctly is 26 less than the number of questions Samadhi answered. Right, Samadhi answers correctly is, that's the subject. Samadhi answered correctly is 26 less than, should be 26 less than half of 3 times of the total number of questions Amadi answered correctly. Amadi answered X number of questions, no? Then it says half of 3 times of X, no? Half of 3 times of the number of questions Amadi answers correctly. Right? That's what the equation. So you can simplify them further. This will be 3x over 2 minus 26. Then I'm going to remove this division 2. How can I remove such a division term? You could multiply the whole equation by 2. Right, we can multiply all the 3 terms by 2. Then 2y equals 3x minus 52. Right. Then normally we are taking all the like terms, all the unknown terms to the side. I'm taking 3x to the left side. Minus 3x equals minus 52. And I did name it as the second equation 2. Right. Then which term can be removed easily? We have 2y and y, 3x and x here. So you can either multiply the first equation by 3, then you can make the coefficients of x equal. If you multiply it by 2, then you can make the coefficients of y equal. Therefore, I'm going to multiply 1 by 2. Then it's easy, right? If you multiply this Roman number, question number 1 by equation number 1 by 2, it will be 2 multiplied by x, 2x. 2 multiplied by y, minus 2y. 2 multiplied by 4 is 8. Right? I multiplied that equation number 1 by 2. And I'm going to name it as 3. Then you can simplify. You can solve, right? Solve it for y. Then I'm making the coefficients of y equal, thereby I'm going to take that equation 2 again here. I'm writing it again. Right. Minus 2y plus, sorry, this should be 2y. Sorry, plus 2y minus 2y. How can I remove them? By adding. We are adding the third equation and the second equation. 2x minus 2y plus 2y minus 3x. 8 plus minus 52. 2y to 2y cancelled. Then this becomes minus 3 plus 2 will be minus 3 plus 2 becomes minus 1. Directed numbers. Minus 1x equals minus 44. Then once you divide both sides by negative 1, we can make it positive and thereby x equals 44. Right? X equals 44. And for that, if x equals 44, you can find the value of y using the first equation. No? Substitute x equals 44 in the first equation. In the first equation, it is 44 minus y equals 4. Here, I replace x by 44. Then I'm taking y to the right side and at the same time taking 4 to the left side. That plus 4 becomes minus 4, minus y becomes plus 5. 44 minus 4 should be 40. That should be the value of y. Got it for that? Now, those are the number of questions that they have answered correctly. Right. Now, okay, then I'm going to write that number of questions that Amadi answered correctly is, how many questions were there? 44, right? We have write the statements again after finding the values. We have write the statements again with the value. Sometimes they are actually, here there are no units, no? But in some other occasions, in some other questions, there might be some other units, kilograms, meters, whatever. So remember that in our past all-level papers, we got 1 mark for writing the statements, right, and the values with units. Therefore, it's very important to write after finding the two values separately. Right, practice to write down the statements and describe the value and also put the value unit, right, value and the value unit, right, and then number of questions that Samadhi answered. Correctly is 40. Right. Number of questions that Samadhi answered correctly is needed to have the answer. Do the third one, the answers are needed. Right. The sum of the marks obtained by Uvindu and Samadhi, right, is less than 150. Samadhi got about 40 marks, so then Uvindu got P marks, Samadhi got 40 marks. Right? Samadhi got 40 marks. Now, it should be less than 150 marks. How can you find it further? This is about the number of marks they obtained. Is this correct? It is correct. No, right? Instead of 40, what we supposed to put, brother? You had to put 4 times, 40 times 2, isn't it? It's about the marks she obtained. So the marks Samadhi obtained is 2 times the number of correct answers, right? So each correct answer received 2 marks, no? Then you have to multiply it by 2. So it becomes P plus 80. Then take that 80 to the right side, minus 80. Then this is 70, the maximum mark that we can obtain. So each question receives 2 marks, no? Each question receives 2 marks and equal distributed. So what should be the maximum mark that Uvindu can take if it is less than 70? It should be a 2 multiple, isn't it? It should be a 2 multiple, no? Then the maximum mark that Uvindu can take, maximum mark should be how much? it should be 68 marks, isn't it? The maximum mark should be 68. Right, let's see the third question, right? Let's have a look on the third question. Third question, a coconut oil machine produces coconut oil using X kilograms of copra per hour. Right, in the production of coconut oil, a profit of rupees within brackets X05 plus 2.6 can be earned from 1 kilogram of copra. If the producer earns a total profit of 90 rupees per hour, construct a quadratic equation of the form ax square plus bx plus c equals 0 using the above information. Well, later we had to solve it. Now, how can you make it further? How can you build up the equation? It says it produces coconut oil using x kilograms of copra per hour. Within an hour, x kilograms of copra needed. No? X kilograms of copra needed, and within an hour, the production of coconut oil, a profit of rupees can be obtained by 1 kilogram. By 1 kilogram of copra, they can obtain this much of a profit. X divided by 5 plus 2.6. Right, people? But it is for X number of kilograms. No? Within an hour, they are going to produce coconut oil using X number of kilograms. Then you have to multiply it. No? This is for 1 kilogram and this is for X number of kilograms. The total production is, and by the total production, they receives a profit of 90 rupees within an hour, right? Okay, no? Within the same time, right? Within the same time period. Within an hour, this is the profit from 1 kilogram. We have to find it for X number of kilograms. And that is the amount received. If you multiply that bracket into that X by that X, no? X into X, X squared over 5, 2.6X equals 90. Right there. Then I'm going to take that 90 to the left side. X05 plus 2.6 minus 90 equals 0. Then can you see there's a division 5, right? How can we remove such a term for that? We have to multiply the whole equation by 5. Both left and right sides. No? So I'm going to multiply each and every term by 5. After multiplying them all by the same value, by 5, we could remove this denominator. X square plus 2.6 into 5, how much? It will be a whole number now. 33 remaining. 5 times 2, 10 plus 3, 13. 13.0. So it's 13x minus 450 equals 0. Right? So this is in the form ax square plus bx plus c equals 0. Right? By solving it, find the number of kilograms of copra used by the trader per hour within brackets to the first decimal place. If the producer works 8 hours per day, for 25 days per month, calculate the total monthly profit. Right. Okay. Then the value should be taken 1969 root equals 44.37, like that we have to get it. Right. We have to find the answer for the first decimal place. Right. Find the number of kilograms of copra used by the trader per hour. Right. That means X. Right. X to be found. Alright, I'm using that method. There are two methods. Either you can apply formula method or else you can apply completing square method. Right, I'm going to explain you the completing square method here. Minus 450 equals 0. Look at this, brother. I'm going to take that minus 450 to the right side. Then it should be plus 450. Then we have to divide the middle term, the coefficient of the middle term, x by 2, and make the square. We have to divide this term by 2. Right? I have sent that minus 450 to the right side. Then we have to add the half of the coefficient of x, 13 divided by 2 square, right? Even you can keep it as a decimal number, but it's better to keep it as a fraction, right? Then 13 square will be 169 over 4. Right? So 2 square will be 4. Then I'm writing it like this. I'm adding 169 over 4 here. Equals 450 169 over 4. Right? And this can be written as a bracket. Complete the square. So you can write like x to the power 2. First term should be x squared. And the second term should be 13 over 2 squared. right? Then square equals this one. We can make the denominators equal, right? In order to make the denominators equal, since it's 1, you have to multiply it by 4. This will be 1800 plus 169 over denominator is 4. We have the common denominator now. So now this becomes 1969, right, over 4. That is square root 13 over 2, then square taken to the other side, square root. Now what happens? Now this is 1969. This will be plus or minus, no? Because there are two values over there. It can be either plus or minus values, right? And then this could be plus or minus 1969 over 4. Actually 4 root will be 2, no? Square root 4 equals 2. And 1969 is given as 44.37. So it is plus or minus 44.37 divided by 2. This is x plus 13 over 2. Right. Now I'm going to take this term to the right side as minus. And x equals plus or minus 44.37 divided by 2. This will be negative when you are taking to the right side. Right. Now we can simplify. We have to consider the plus value where the minus value, right? So then can it be negative? Can it be negative? No, right? Actually, x is the number of it says the number of kilograms, right? The quantity of kilograms used. It cannot be a negative value. No, then you have to say x cannot be negative. X cannot be a negative value. Then we can consider only the positive value, by the way. Look at this. I am taking only the positive plus value. 44.37 over 2 minus 13 over 2. We're going to subtract then, no? 37 will be there as it is. 4 minus 3, 1. 4 minus 1, 3. Divide by 2. Answer is 2 times 15 for 30. For 13, 12 times 2 times 6 for 12. 8 for 16 and so on, right? We got it up to the second decimal place, but however, in that answer we have to keep that answer up to the first decimal place. So to the first decimal place, x equals 15.7 kilograms. Right, that should be the profit. No? So then it says whether we have to find the profit the producer works earning by working for 8 hours per day for 25 days. Then we know that in the question is given that within an hour the producer can earn a profit of 90 rupees. So you have to multiply 90 per hour, then for 8 hours and 25 days. Like this much. So 8 times 25 is 200. No? And 2 times 9 is 18 and 3 zeros. So he can earn a profit of 18,000 rupees per hour. Right? Sorry, per hour is 90. We have found it for this much of quantity for that, right? For 200 hours. We discussed the question number 4 of the paper, right? Question number 4 is from graphs for the, and the formula is given minus x square. Right. So in the first Roman number, as usual, we have to calculate the value of y when x equals 2. Then you can substitute that term here. And even you can just looking at the table, we can determine that value even, right? Without calculating it physically, we can just by looking at the table, we can observe the value, right? So by looking at the table, we can see that on both sides of y values, whether we have minus 6, minus 6. After that, we have minus 1, and then the value of y when x equals 2 should be 2, because by looking at the symmetrical values, it should be 2. Rho y equals 2. Y equals 2. Roman number 2. Draw the graph of the function on the paper using or taking 10 small divisions on each and every axis x and y. Right. This is how we are drawing it. You can draw the graph. You are drawing a graph paper, right? And this is drawn from minus 6 to plus 3. Right. X and Y axis. Right. So this is the Cartesian plane field. Then we have to plot the points. We have to plot -2, -6. Then -1, -1. Right, then 0 plus 2. 1, 3. 2 and 2. Then again going down. 3 minus 1. And finally 4 minus 6. Right, well, those are the points. Then you can join them with a smooth curve. Right, this is the graph. Right, then Roman number 2 is done. Then part B, Roman number 1. Using the graph, find the roots of the function. If they ask me the roots, these are the roots for that. These are the roots. This should be plus 2.7. This should be minus 0.7. Those are the roots. But there's an allowance. Can be plus or minus 0.1. Right? Plus or minus 0.1 is acceptable. So you can write the roots. X equals minus 0.7. That also can be tolerated with plus or minus 0.1. And x equals 2.7. Your answer can be vary in this range. Right? It can be 2.6, 2.7 or 2.8. This can be minus 0.6, minus 0.7, no, minus 0.8. Like that, they vary. Then Roman number 2 of part B. Write the range of x values where the function is decreasing in the range of -6 and between -6 and -1, right? Then y vary from -6. It is -6 of y, right? And -1, right? Between -6 and -1. Right. This is the range. Function is decreasing. Function is decreasing in this range, right? So what is the range? Here the x value is 3 and this point x value is 4. That should be the range. That should be the range of x values. Then the x values are x is larger than or equals 3 but less than or equals 4. Right, we have to put that equal symbol as well. Since in the question it is given the equal symbol. Right, therefore you have to put equal symbol. The Roman number 3, write the function obtained when the above function is displaced by 2 units vertically. Displaced by 2 units vertically upwards in the form. Right. Shifting upwards vertically by 2 units further. Then what happens? When it is moving upward, then we can write the function. The current function is y equals, currently that maximum value is 3 minus, since x should be minus, we have a maximum curve, x square should be negative. X equals, here symmetrical axis is +1, so we have to put -1. Right, this is the function we wrote in that form for the existing graph, but we have to find the graph of the function where it is obtained by shifting this graph upwards by 2 units. Then for the 2 to be added. Right, only 2 to be added, then the function should be find minus within brackets x minus 1 squared. So this will be a kind of a question, definitely will be there in your paper. So remember this method and learn this method, right? That method is very important when it comes to that graphs question. And he's moving upward, he's climbing up, and he stops for a while at point Q. He stops there, right? So the height from the foot of the tree up to that point is equal to the height of the building, right? Height of the tower. Right. Then he then climbs another 12 meters up, 12 meters up the tree and stops at point P. Right. Then PQ length is 12 meters. Right. PQ length is 12 meters. Then he observes the top of the tower Y at an angle of depression of 58 degrees. Right. He observes the top of this one, angle of depression of 58. If it's 58, this also will be 58 alternate angles. Right, alternate angles. Right. Roman number 1, copy the given figure and mark the given data on it. Done. Roman 2, using the trigonometric tables, find the distance between the coconut tree and the tower to the nearest first decimal place. Alright, how can I get that figure? We have to apply the particular ratio. No? We have to find this length, QY length to be found. Then this is the angle opposite over adjacent, right? Opposite over adjacent. Then this should be right angle, isn't it? Then if we apply the formula, if we apply tangents, tan 58 equals opposite over adjacent, adjacent side, QY. Right, but when you are writing it like this, we are taking that QY to the left side as multiplication and divide by that one, 58. What happens? This will be a decimal number. It's harder to divide 12 by decimal number. Therefore, if you can avoid using tan 58, and if you can use something else, it's better. Look at this one. If it is 58 degrees, we can find this one, no? Isn't it? 90 minus 58. Eight minus 5 is 3. 32 degrees. Right, 32 degrees. Then you can apply what? Opposite to adjacent to that, tan. You can apply tan 32 degrees. Opposite QY over adjacent 12. Right, so we have to find tan 32 from natural tangents table. Natural tangents table, tan 32 0. 0.6249. You can times it by 12. Right, we can multiply both sides by 12. Right, then what comes with that? You can multiply that one. 6249 times by 12. 9426. So we have to keep 4 decimal places. Right, that should be the answer. But we have to find it for the nearest first decimal place only. However, QY equals 7.4988. But we have to go for the nearest value up to the nearest first decimal place. No? To the nearest first decimal place, so that should be 7.5. We have 4 here, we can move 1 to the other side. Thereby it should be 7.5 meters. Right. That's the distance between the tree and this tower. Right. Right. Roman number 3. A wire tied at point C is attached to the point C. A wire tied at point B is attached to the point C. Right. B and C joined such that it is pulled tight if the length of PC is 25 meters. The PC length is 25 meters and the height of the tower is 9 meters. It is 9. It's also to be 9 meters. No? Both are in the same height. No? Right. Then we have to find, show that the angle of elevation of P from C is greater than 57. Right. Angle of elevation of P from C. P from C, and this is what we can find, theta. Okay. Opposite side is 12 plus 9, 21. Hypotenuse. Opposite to hypotenuse, sino. Right, we can apply sino. (21 meters), 12 plus 9 over 25. Right. Opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. We can divide and see, no? We can divide and get that answer. 21 divided by 25. Nothing. 210. 25 times 8 there for 200. 1 0 remaining, then 100 and put the value. Should be 4, right? Right, 0.84. Now we have to take it from natural science table. Right, natural science table. Natural science table, we have to search for 0.84. Right, 0.84. 8400. Right, what we have is 8400 is not available. So, we have 83, 87. 87 plus 3 is 90. Then 13 more needed. Yeah, 13 more needed. So it is 57 degrees, 0 minutes. Right, 57 degrees and how much? We need 13, no? We have 13 brother. Yeah, it's an 8th column, no? Then 57 degrees and 8 minutes. 57 degrees and 8 minutes. We have to show that it's more than 57. Yeah. Obviously, 57 degrees 8 minutes is more than 57 degrees. That's what we had to prove. Right. That's what we had to prove. Right. That's all about question number 5. Right.